Hello and welcome to News Central Now. I am Mazino Appeal. Top stories this hour. Federal government invites Labour to resume new minimum wage talks. Court orders a forfeiture of Emefiele's $1.4 million bribery proceeds. And votes counting underway in South Africa with ANC's majority on the line. Details in a moment. Let's begin by telling you that the federal government has once again extended an invitation to organized labor to resume negotiations on the minimum wage this Friday. On Tuesday, the Minimum Wage Committee adjourned indefinitely after talks between the federal government and organized labor broke down. Labor rejected the government's revised offer of 60,000 naira up from the earlier 57,000 naira proposal. During the meeting, Labour also adjusted its demand, reducing it by 3,000 naira from the 497,000 naira proposed last week, setting the new figure at 494,000 naira. The Minister of State for Labour and Employment in Kiruka, Onyejiocha, on Wednesday urged organised labour to be considerate and patriotic in their demands during the ongoing negotiations for a new minimum wage. She acknowledged the complex and multifaceted economic challenges faced by Nigerians, calling for a collective effort from all stakeholders to address them. Onyejiocha emphasized that the upcoming meeting with organized labor is a crucial step towards securing a fair and realistic wage for Nigerian workers. In the meantime, the pan-Nigerian social welfarist group Afenifere has called the federal government to rethink its economic policies amidst rising inflation and increasing poverty affecting citizens. In a statement signed by Afenifere's publicity secretary, Prince Justice Faloye, the group warned that if the federal government does not alter its current economic strategies during the first year of its scorecard review, the ongoing economic turbulence may continue, further impoverishing citizens in the coming years. Afenifere advised President Bola Tinubu's administration to heed the concerns of the masses and work to alleviate their sufferings. The group highlighted that the economy has faced severe challenges during Tinubu's one-year tenure, marked by inflation, currency devaluation, rising unemployment, homelessness and poverty. Afenifere called for a better understanding and management of the economy to address these critical issues and improve the well-being of Nigerian citizens. In more news, away from that, Nigeria's parliament has called on citizens to embrace the new national anthem, saying its words will birth a revolution amongst Nigerians. This was during a presentation by President Bola Tinubu to a joint session of the parliament as part of the May 29th first-year anniversary. President Tinubu called for more collaborations between the executive arm of government and the legislative arm of government, saying this will help provide the dividends of democracy to citizens. Amadine Uyi reports.
The first time Nigeria's former national anthem is being sung in the nation's parliament. For many lawmakers, it evokes a nostalgic feeling.
We must hail Nigeria. And so we are all saying today, Mr. President, Nigeria we hail thee.
By the time you sit down, read it line by line, word by word, you will see why it is very, very important for Nigeria to revisit its former national anthem.
At this joint session of the parliament, with the president in attendance as part of the May 29 first year anniversary, the president of the Senate says the new anthem bets a national revolution.
There is no better place to commence this revolution of going back to our genealogy than the National Assembly, made of very patriotic, not just representatives, but elected representatives of the people of Nigeria. The voice of the National Assembly is the voice of Nigeria. So we welcome you.
President Bola Tinubu thanked the parliament for support, urging them to cooperate with the executive arm of government to transform the nation.
Please continue to collaborate, work together, build our country We have no other choice. It is our nation. No one, no age, no other institution or personality will help us except we do it ourselves.
With the signing of the bill recalling the old national anthem, many will hope its words truly beds a revolution in the minds of citizens. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
In the meantime, the approval of Nigeria's national anthem by President Bola Tinubu has elicited strong criticism from citizens who say the change will not impact their lives. Some of them spoke to News Central Television at the nation's capital, Abuja, saying it is a misplaced priority and urged governments to focus on more critical issues of governance. Marvelous Obomanu captured the mood of citizens in this report.
The new national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, was used from independence in 1960 until 1978. Nigeria's former anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, was adopted in 1978, replacing the old anthem. However, President Bola Tinubu has signed the bill, reinstating the false anthem, a situation which has evoked strong reactions from citizens.
This particular issue is what I don't really understand. We are talking of the increase of fuel. We are talking of things that are happening. What is the benefit of changing what they have changed in 45 years ago?
It's very, very unfortunate that at this level, the people in the National Assemblies are talking about old and new items. When there's insecurity in the land, when there's poverty, where inflation is 36% today.
We're expecting that the government should come up and, address the issue of insecurity, hunger, famine, you see, so that people will enjoy. But are we going to adhere to this nationalism? We don't do that.
Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. You know for the fact that our social cohesion index as a country and people is not encouraging. So we have to forge ahead. We have to develop that spirit of oneness, spirit of common bond that we feel it.
Some of them say this will not change Nigeria's current economic situation and blame the nation's parliament for not being alive to its responsibilities.
National Assembly, instead of them to look at the bill they are going to enact to make sure it touches the common masses of Nigeria that are talking of issue of new national, national anthem. National anthem that will not bring food to the table of the common Nigerians. National anthem that will not bring food to the downtrodden.
Nigerians are not happy. People are going through hell. Everybody is going through hell. It's very, very unfortunate that this government is not listening, and they are not doing something that is urgent to this economy. And I want to say this. If government refuses to do something urgent, my mentor, Chief Ganifa Emefiele, said, when you push to the wall, Nigeria will react. And the day Nigeria is going to react, it's going to be very violent.
This growing frustration expressed by citizens is an indication that the move is unpopular. Some Nigerians say they need quick changes to the current economic situation because it presents a bleak future for citizens. In Abuja for News Central, Marvelous Obomanu.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has commissioned the rehabilitated Abuja Metro Line project and flagged off its commercial operations. President Tinubu, while commending the FCT administration for the completion of the project, says that it is proof of government's commitments to keeping to its promise to citizens. Amadine Uyi reports here.
The commissioning of the Abuja Metro Line after 6 years since its terminal was built. In attendance were senior officials, as the project completion marks one of the hallmarks of the current administration's first year in office.
Today marks not only the integration of the modern transportation system, but also a testament to the power of collaboration and determination in bringing about positive change. The Abuja Light Rail is not just a mode of transportation, it is a symbol of progress, connectivity, and accessibility for all.
For me, today is the happiest day We're talking about the New Hope agenda. What is the New Hope agenda? Giving back hope to the people. That's what it means. So it is a reality. What we are saying today is a reality. People will not be happy that I can come to the city and go back.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says the project was completed following a direct order from President Bola Tinubu, and the administration was able to surmount several challenges in achieving the feat.
The contract for the rehabilitation of this railway was given in 2018. And it was awarded at a cost of $30 billion. And that was not paid. It was a directive that we had to plead with the central bank, plead with the Minister of Finance and the Accountant General. They all came together to say, look, support us. This is the directive Mr. President has given. And I can tell you that the Governor of Central Bank and his team did everything and paid that money to CC citizens.
President Tinubu commended the FCT administration, saying the completion of the Metro Line project is a promise made to citizens and promise fulfilled.
Today, what we have in the Federal Capital Territory is another piece of evidence that we are a government that delivers on promises. The commencement of this project is a dream come true for all of us. Am I ever not surprised, given the track record of the ministry? This accomplishment by FCT administration is a demonstration of serious commitment to value.
He also approved the free train service for its operations till December 2024. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
Let's do a short break now. We have more news coming up inside the hour. Welcome back. Now, the House of Representatives has passed a resolution to investigate the mass retrenchment in the Central Bank of Nigeria. The motion was passed at an emergency session on Wednesday to commemorate 25 years of Nigeria's unbroken democracy since May 1999. Jonathan Gaza, a member of the House, expressed concern that the nation may have to pay a high settlement cost as a result of the recent layoffs without fair hearings, panels, or criteria. He added that terminating appointments arbitrarily will amount to killing the morale of junior staff, not knowing what their fate would be. The House afterwards mandated the Committee on Banking Regulations to look into the reforms of the Apex Bank that warranted the CBN to downsize its staff strength. And in more news, the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the interim forfeiture of $1.4 million linked to former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele. On Wednesday, Justice Ayokunle Faji directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to publish the interim forfeiture order in a national newspaper. The judge stated that any interested parties must appear before the court within 14 days to explain why the funds should not be permanently forfeited to the federal government. Following the issuance of the interim forfeiture order, Justice Faji adjourned the case until June 25 for a hearing on the final forfeiture. This ruling comes just days after Justice Yelim Bogoro of the same Federal High Court ordered the interim forfeiture of $4.7 million, 830 million naira, and properties linked to Emefiele on May 23, 2024. Emefiele is currently facing multiple charges, including procurement fraud, unauthorized design of the naira notes, and forgery of former President Muhammadu Buhari's signature to allegedly move funds out of the central bank. In the meantime, the Enugu State High Court sitting in Nsukka has issued a restraining order preventing the state government from demolishing the Ifesinachi private transportation firm located at Ogige Market in Nsukka local government area. Justice H.U. Uzegu, the presiding judge, granted the order following an ex parte application filed by Ifesinachi Transport Company and Ifeanyi Mama, representing the family of the late Igwe Ogbonna. The family informed the court that the government had marked parts of Ogige Market for demolition, prompting widespread condemnation. Many traders have expressed their distress over the short notice given to vacate the premises, fearing the impact on their livelihoods. Now, let's also tell you that all is now calm in Kano State as citizens await the outcome of the ongoing attempts by the Chief Justice of Nigeria to address the conflicting judgment on the ongoing emirate tussle in the state. Meanwhile, supporters of the two rival emirs, Muhammadu Sanusi and Aminu Ado Bayero, have refused to back down as they were seen trooping into various palaces to pledge their allegiance. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu reports.
It's the 5th day of the reign of Muhammad Sanusi II as the 16th Emir of Kano. Despite a recent Federal High Court order mandating his removal, the new Emir has gone ahead with his duties at his official palace.
The thing that's happened is something that we take it as a new. In fact, whoever been appointed as the Emir of the state by the state governor, so the power is his own power. It's not the power of the federal government, it's the power of the state governor. So our state governor, he declared that Emir Sanusi Lamida Sanusi is the Emir of Kano State. And all people were supporting him.
dalilin Khalifa Muhammadu Sanusi na biyu ya zo mana gidan dabo haka farin ciki kullum muke Allah ya ƙara sutura.
On the other hand, his rival, who has been deposed by the Kano State government, has remained unperturbed as he has continued his duties at his Gidan Sarkin Nasarawa Palace, where he continued to receive district heads and some government officials loyal to him.
It is about the rule of law. It is about the rule of law, and it's about the system of traditional institutions in Kano that has stayed many years ago. The system, the rule of law, our position as legislators in Kano State House of Assembly, that is why we are here. Because we discovered an anomaly that is trying to destroy Kano. And the only remedy is to follow the legal procedure to be able to come up with a logical conclusion to restore the integrity of the traditional institutions in Kano. That is the only way out.
The Kano State government have temporarily banned protests and related gatherings until further notice. The government says that this is to prevent a breakdown of law and order. The people of Kano have expressed calmness and maturity while expressing their opinion in this matter. It is now left for the federal government and the state to come together and take advantage of this peaceful atmosphere to control the situation and ensure that it ends in a win-win situation for everyone. In Kano State for News Central, I am Emmanuel Bagudu.
And to security matters now. The ongoing efforts to tackle insecurity in the Lake Chad region took a significant step forward as stakeholders convened at the University of Maiduguri's first Lake Chad International Conference on Insecurity. The discussants emphasized the need for a holistic approach that combines security interventions with targeted efforts to rebuild and revitalize the affected communities. News Central's Umaru Kirawa was at the Muhammadu Indimi International Conference Center, University of Maiduguri, and now reports.
A platform for constructive dialogue and the exchange of ideas on the complexity of challenges being experienced in the Lake Chad region. Wide range of papers presented with emphasis on the need for a robust peace-building strategy that incorporates community-level communication mechanisms and early warning systems to facilitate healing and reconciliation.
Together, we can have a way to resolve to have a peace.
Addressing the issue of insurgency is not an issue that be taken by government alone. It is an issue that everybody has to come on board.
Countries need to sit down, develop a model where we can have effective communication. I'm even suggesting that it will not do harm for us, for these member countries to have a single television and radio station.
What you are experiencing, what you are seeing is different from what somebody will be sitting down and writing on you. So it's better that our people come down to write what they experience, what they see, what they thought.
The media should try as much as possible to avoid concepts that will aggravate conflict. Identities of actors in the conflict should be carefully quaint.
Other experts advocate national legal framework to strengthen the Borno model of rehabilitation and reintegration processes with enhanced funding.
If the military will only cordon off Boko Haram in their enclaves and ensure that food does not enter, the mass surrender that you see will only increase, even without shooting a single bullet. So logistics is key to the success of any military operation.
The demand for more aggressive action to secure our borders and to maintain our territorial integrity is very fundamental.
The conference will go down as one of our major achievements, even as I leave the stage. I call on succeeding management to continue supporting such research endeavors.
One important point noted by experts is that the government should seek negotiation to ending the security anomaly in the Lake Chad. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
Now, a middle-aged man trying to supply arms to suspected bandits in Jos has been arrested by men of the Plateau State Police Command. It was gathered that the suspect was said to have arrived in Jos from Zamfara State on Wednesday evening and was apprehended opposite the NTA Park in Jos while trying to deliver the arms to the bandits. The chairman of the Jos NTA Park, Ibrahim Maikudi, confirmed the development to newsmen in Jos on Thursday. Maikudi recounts how the suspect was on the verge of being lynched by a furious mob before being spared by security personnel. And Lagos State Government, in its drive for an efficient, fast, safe and cost-effective water transportation, has unveiled 15 boats called Omibus. This is coming at a time when Nigeria has experienced incessant boat mishaps. News Central's maritime correspondent Neoma Obiaswalu was at the event in Lagos and brings this report.
Water transport has been recognized as cost-effective and an environmentally friendly mode of transportation. But the challenge of safety on the waterways has been on the front burner considering the incessant boat mishaps seen across Nigeria. These mishaps are based on regulatory lapses, poor implementation of safety standards, human errors such as overloading, non-use of life jackets or expired jackets, overspeeding, weak boats, night sailing, amongst others. In Lagos State, water transportation is often a primary mode of commuting for many communities. Thus, it is imperative to have a safe, efficient and modern boats to drive this safety initiative, which spawned the launch of 15 locally built boats called Omibus. The Lagos State Waterways Authority believes this newly acquired boat is coming at the right time.
I want to thank you, His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, for your unwavering support and innovative leadership in improving our transportation infrastructure. The unveiling of Nigerian-made modern ferries is a testament to the dedicated efforts of the Lagos State government in developing water transportation in Lagos State. Lagos has always been a trailblazer and standard setting, and LASWA has been aligned with this approach in setting standards for the inland waterways infrastructure and services across the nation.
On his part, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu spoke on the priority of free jackets distributed by LASWA.
In the last year or so, LASWA alone has distributed close to 20,000 free vests. What do we call it? Floating vest or life jacket vest? Exactly. Free of charge. Free of charge. Over 20,000 LASWA has distributed, meaning that you know that you need to have the safety component before you board any of our ferries. And I want to also talk to the private ferry operators. Please listen to your regulators. When they give you a time that you cannot ply on the waterways again, please stick with those regulated time. All of the unfortunate 1 or 2 fatality accident that we have had on the waterways in the last 1 year are people that have not listened to the rules.
With the efficiency of water transportation seen in Lagos, the residents look forward to an alternative to traffic gridlock, which will in turn make them more productive. In Lagos, for News Central, Norma Obiaswalo.
Let's go on a short break now, and when we get back, more news inside this hour. Welcome back. On to South Africa now, where ballot counting is currently underway following a historic election that could potentially end the African National Congress' 30-year unchanged majority. Voters queued long into the night on Wednesday, with some polling stations remaining open well past the planned 9 p.m. closure due to the high turnout and last-minute rush, particularly in urban areas. Counting commenced immediately after polls closed, and while the final results are not yet expected before the weekend, analysts are already examining turnout figures and partial results to gauge whether the ruling ANC will lose its overall parliamentary majority for the first time since coming to power in 1994. Political analysts say if President Cyril Ramaphosa, if his party falls below the crucial 50% mark, he will need to seek coalition partners to be re-elected by parliament and form a new government. And now, still in more news this hour, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has issued an urgent plea to global leaders to address the humanitarian crisis in the Sahel region. The UN Refugee Agency warned that without immediate action, the crisis could escalate, drawing in other countries and becoming a global issue. In an interview, Abdulrauf Conde, the UN Refugee Agency's Director for West and Central Africa, highlighted the volatile situation in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. He emphasized the risk of the conflict spilling over into neighboring countries. Military regimes in these 3 Sahel states have expelled French troops, the former colonial power, and are increasingly seeking support from Russia to combat jihadist insurgencies. This shift has caused concerns among Western donors. However, Gankonde underscores that the UNHCR's primary concern is the welfare of citizens' populations, regardless of who holds power in these countries. He emphasized the urgent need to respond to the needs of those affected by the crises.
It doesn't matter who is in charge, but as much as the most important thing is to make sure that our voice are heard and we understand the priorities of those people who are in control. And some principles need to be preserved in the way that we should respond to those civilian population. This is what matters. This is what those 3 countries, Gulf of Guinea, Togo, Benin, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, are already suffering because of the spillover of the security and the humanitarian situation. The same with Mauritania. The same with.
Now, a Swiss NGO has revealed alarming figures on the smuggling of African gold. According to the report, billions of dollars worth of gold is illegally transported out of Africa each year, primarily headed for Dubai before being illegally re-exported to other countries. The NGO Swiss Aid published findings indicating that between 321 and 474 tons of African gold produced through artisanal and small-scale mining go undeclared annually. This represents a staggering value of between $24 and $35 billion. Africa stands as the world's leading gold-producing continent, with Ghana, South Africa, Mali, and Burkina Faso at the forefront of production in 2022. The report highlights that the smugglings of African gold has more than doubled over the past decade, from 2012 to 2022. The findings are based on data collected from 54 African countries, cross-referencing gold production with official exports and import records over the past decade. And UNICEF has condemned a distressing 70% rise in grave violence against children in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, countries severely affected by jihadists and armed group activities. The 3 Sahel states, all under military rule following coups since 2020, are engulfed in clashes involving jihadists, community militia, bandits, regular armies, and their auxiliaries. This has left civilians, especially children, vulnerable to escalating violence. UNICEF Regional Director for West Africa and Central Africa, Giles Fagninu, revealed the shocking increase on Wednesday. He reported that in the last 3 months of 2023, grave violations against children in the Central Sahel surged by over 70% compared to the previous quarter. He also highlighted that the majority of these cases involved the recruitment and use of children by armed groups as well as instances of killing and maiming. This surge in violence is further worsened by extreme poverty, acute food insecurity, and deep political crises in the region. And let's go on another break, and when we get back, we've still got more news for you. Welcome back. Now, in the meantime, in South Africa, some opposition parties are not happy with how the Independent Electoral Commission conducted its elections on Wednesday. Now, vote counting is still in progress across the country following a late close at some polling stations in the urban areas. The ANC has won a majority in every national election over the last 30 years, but several polls put its support at less than 50% ahead of this one, raising the chance of a major shift in Africa's most advanced economy. Meanwhile, as soon as of noon today on Thursday, total valid votes counted were at 1.6 million at 16.65% complete, with Jacob Zuma's party MK leading in KwaZulu-Natal, with ANC leading nationally out of the votes counted so far. Now, to talk more on this, I'm joined by News Central correspondent in Cape Town, South Africa, Bongani. Bongani, good morning. How are you? Or rather, good afternoon.
Mazino, it's afternoon this side. Can
Yes,
I say good afternoon? And good afternoon to our viewers.
Yes, thank you very much. My apologies. Now, first off, tell us how far right now is the counting going, and has anything come out from, well, the elections so far?
Yeah, the counting is going very well. We have not had any problems. On the screen now, when I'm looking to my right, we have passed almost 2 million votes that have been counted, and at 19.87%. But the most interesting is when I look at the ballots and the numbers that are coming, MK doing so very well. And I don't know, is this exactly what people expected? But not to get much excitement, because it's only in one part of the country, that is KZN, but I can also see that EFF also coming up there, Democratic Alliance also coming up there. But not to take much of your time, I'm joined by my colleague here, a journalist here in South Africa, Thuso Khumalo. Just we can take this and give an update on what is happening here. Thuso, good afternoon. MK doing so well there, but it's just one province. What you can say about this?
Quite interesting picture indeed that we see there on the scoreboard. If you look at MK, is sitting at number 4. I mean, this is a new party that was just formed. Of course, as you have said, it's only 19% of the national vote that has been counted. But nevertheless, at the national level, once it's standing at party number 4, it shows it's going to do quite a lot. Remember, it's also present in Gauteng, it's also present in Mpumalanga, it has some other places. But you don't see these smaller parties like the Mzansi, Rise Mzansi, that were very big in terms of advertising and very popular with young people. They are still in the shadows. You don't see them up. But the ANC standing up there and showing force in all provinces. ANC is there, except the Western Cape. That's where it's not number 1, but it's number 1 in all provinces. But it's too early, of course, to conclude anything with these results.
Parties complaining about the voting yesterday, that there were some irregularities.
Quite a lot of challenges. I was in one station at 9 p.m. yesterday in Auckland Park here in Johannesburg, and
Unfortunately, I think we've lost Bongani there, but we'll try to bring you more on that one in later periods. Do stay tuned. Now, moving on now. A Hong Kong court has found 14 of 16 activists and politicians guilty of subversion in the Chinese territory's largest ever trial under the Beijing-imposed national security law. The judges delegated to hear cases brought under the 2020 security law, which does not allow jury trials, shared the reasoning for their decision in a 319-page document posted online. The group was among 47 people, including some of Hong Kong's most prominent supporters of democracy, charged over an unofficial 2020 primary to choose the Democracy Camp's candidates for a Legislative Council election that was later postponed.
We've been waiting for this day for over 3 years. I feel very sad that so many people have been locked up for so long. The day has come. I have come to support them, and I hope the courts in Hong Kong will prove that there is one country, two systems. The court is independent, it's just and fair. So I just go in to support them.
實都好難過啊，係啊，佢哋冇啊，佢真係完全佢個目的就係為咗民主，為咗真民主嘅啫。最初嗰時我哋喺入邊示威㗎，而家越逼越遠啊，逼到嚟呢度對面馬路，嗌到我聲嘶力竭，我都未曾，即都唔覺得人哋係真係聽到咯。
Jose Alfredo Cabrera Barrientos, a mayoral candidate for the municipality of Cayuca del Benitez, has been shot dead in southern Mexico on Wednesday during a campaign rally. In the meantime, authorities work at the scenes where Cabrera was shot dead during a campaign rally in southern Mexico, marking a bloody end to the campaigning in a country expected to elect its first woman president this weekend. Now, according to an official count, more than 20 people running for local office have been murdered during what has been a particularly violent election season in the Latin American nation. And now, business. Botswana's President Makwetsi Masisi has called synthetic germ a threat to the country's economic lifeblood as the government readies to launch a $6 billion project to extend the life of its flagship Wangneng diamond mine. The national diamond market has struggled in the past 2 years due to rising consumer demand for cheaper lab-grown diamonds coupled with global macroeconomic volatility. Masisi will participate this week at the JCK show in Las Vegas, considered the world's largest jewelry trade event to promote Botswana as a leading producer of ethically and responsibly sourced diamonds as the country looks to safeguard its market share for natural diamonds. Now, Egypt is raising the price of heavily subsidized bread for the first time in decades, a politically sensitive decision that has been delayed for years. The price of subsidized bread will jump 300% to 20 piastres, to about $0.0042 from 5 piastres starting in June. Prime Minister Mustafa Mabouli said at a press conference on Wednesday about 2/3 of Egypt's population benefit from a program that gives 5 loaves of round bread daily for 5 piastres a loaf, an attempt to change the subsidy system led by riots in 1977. And now sports. In preparation for the Paris 2024 Olympics, the Nigeria Wrestling Federation has commenced its training camp for wrestlers on Wednesday, 29th May 2024 in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital. The President of Nigeria Wrestling Federation, Honorable Daniel Igali, said the federation has the mandate to ensure that Nigerian wrestlers perform optimally in the wrestling event at the Paris 2024 Olympics. A total of 6 athletes, 5 females and 1 male, led by Tokyo 2020 silver medalist Blessing Oborodudu, will represent Nigeria in the wrestling event at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Recall earlier this month, the Wrestling Federation also sponsored a 2-week camp for the wrestlers prior to Mercy Genesis' participation at the World Wrestling Olympic qualifier in Istanbul, Turkey. And the 2024 President Federation Cup round of 16 matches produced shocking results as 5 Nigerian National League teams zoomed into the quarterfinals after beating NPFL teams. Aimba FC, Oka United and Shooting Stars Club of Ibadan were all beaten on the same day in the cup competition by the NNL teams. It was an identical scoreline of 1-0 as Sokoto United, El Kanemi Warriors and Kirby United all defeated Aimba FC, 3SC and Oka United respectively. Abia Warriors got the better of Kwara United, while Katsina United fell 7-8 on penalties to Kano Pillars. In the Lagos Derby, Inter Lagos defeated Ikorodu City 5-4 on penalties after it ended 1 apiece in regulation time. And our boxing. Undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury are set to meet in a rematch on the 21st of December, according to the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority. Usyk beat Fury by split decision to become the first undisputed champion of the four-belt era on the 18th of May. A rematch was said to be in the works for October, but Turkey Alasçik says the date has been pushed back to December. Usyk, the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 1999, added Fury's WBC belt to his WBA, WBO and IBF collection when they fought in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia early this month. The 37-year-old Ukrainian has won all 22 of his professional fights. Alasçik did not name a venue for the rematch, but stated it would take place during Riyadh season. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. Federal government has invited Labour to resume new minimum wage talks. And a federal high court in Lagos has ordered forfeiture of Emefiele's $1.4 million bribery proceeds. And we also told you that votes counting is underway in South Africa with ANC's majority on the line. Now, do remember you can send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on your screen now. And do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and of course on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Mazino Appeal.